Hey everyone, get ready because we're diving deep into Cyclops, the tiny mage with massive brain-melting potential. If you've ever wondered how to turn him from lane pusher into a team fight nuke that controls objectives and forces enemies to play scared, this is your complete walkthrough. Today, we're using a build I know you love and have been testing in matches, and I'll explain everything. Why each item fits Cyclops, how they scale, how you play around them in early, mid, and late game, when to be aggressive and when to hide, and how to structure fights so your skills do the absolute maximum work. I'll also weave in practical tips, mental notes, and small micro plays you can do every single game to climb faster. Let's go! So, before we jump into the build, I just want to remind you, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because I see a lot of you watching without subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and keeps me motivated to bring you more updated and detailed guides like this one. We start with magic boots, a small item, but extremely important. The reason you go for magic boots on Cyclops is simple: movement speed and cooldown reduction. Cyclops needs to move, not to dive, but to reposition after casting. His first skill is a tracking orb, and every time you reposition, you increase the chance of that orb landing at the perfect angle. These boots also let you rotate faster between lanes, help your jungler, and dodge assassins or skill shots. And that tiny bit of cooldown reduction means you can cast your skills more frequently even early on, giving you an edge in lane poke and wave clear. Next, we move into Enchanted Talisman, which is one of the most important items for Cyclops right now. This item solves all your early game problems: mana, cooldowns, and sustained casting. The passive restores mana based on max mana every few seconds, which means you'll never go dry while spamming your skills. The 20% cooldown reduction is massive for a hero like Cyclops, who relies on constant uptime. Once you have Enchanted Talisman, your rhythm begins. Cast, reposition, cast again, and never stop. This item lets you stay in lane, control the wave, and always have the mana to rotate when fights break out. Without it, Cyclops can't maintain his pressure, but with it, you become an infinite caster machine. Then we move to Concentrated Energy, a core part of what makes this build shine. This item provides magic lifesteal and bonus HP, which completely changes how Cyclops trades in fights. Normally, mages are fragile and rely on staying back, but with Concentrated Energy, every time your skills hit, and remember, Cyclops' skills hit a lot, you heal. You'll notice it instantly during fights. Those little bits of health keep coming back, letting you survive longer and even bait enemies into overcommitting. With this item, you become surprisingly hard to kill, especially in mid to late game fights. What's even better is that it scales perfectly with his kit. Your orbs from Planet's attack and the waves from Stardust Shock both trigger the lifesteal effect. Combine that with Cyclops' natural cooldown resets, and you're healing non-stop while dishing out massive magic damage. It's like turning your mage into a self-sustaining engine of destruction. After your mana and cooldown issues are fixed, it's time to make yourself harder to kill, and that's where Queen's Wings comes in. This item is extremely underrated on Cyclops. People think it's only for fighters or sustain heroes, but the new version of Queen's Wings actually benefits mages that need to survive during their casting window. It gives HP, cooldown, and spell vamp. But most importantly, that damage reduction passive when your health drops below the threshold. This means if an assassin dives you, instead of being one-shotted, you survive long enough to get another round of spells off. And that extra round can turn the entire fight. Pair this with Cyclops' passive, and you'll be surprised how often you walk away from fights you should have died in. It's not about being tanky, it's about giving yourself just enough survivability to finish your combo and retreat. Now we add Glowing Wand, one of the most synergistic items in Cyclops' kit. This item adds HP, movement speed, and magic power. But what truly matters is the passive burn effect that scales with enemy HP. Each time you deal skill damage, enemies start burning for a percentage of their max HP over time. And since Cyclops constantly throws skills, not just bursts once and stops, the burn keeps stacking and refreshing. This means tanks and fighters who usually shrug off poke damage will start melting from your consistent hits. Glowing Wand turns Cyclops from a burst mage into a sustained threat who can wear down even the toughest frontliners. It also synergizes perfectly with Enchanted Talisman because your cooldowns are short and you're applying that burn almost non-stop.
And to finish the build, we go with the Divine Glaive, the armor shredder for mages. By this stage, enemies will probably have built Athena's shield, Radiant armor, or Oracle to counter you. Divine Glaive completely ignores those defenses with its huge magic penetration. The more magic defense the enemy has, the stronger this item becomes. It transforms Cyclops into a true late-game carry. Your skills now cut through even tanks as if they're paper. This is the point where your damage peaks, and one good combo can wipe half the enemy team. And since Cyclops' cooldowns are short, you can repeat that over and over. Once Divine Glaive is online, your burst becomes lethal, and your sustained poke turns deadly. Every enemy hit feels the pressure, no matter their role or build.
Now, the beauty of this build is the perfect balance it provides. You have damage, sustain, and survivability all in one. Cyclops becomes a complete hero, one that can adapt to almost any situation. With concentrated energy in Queen's Wings, you have to sustain to survive dives. With Enchanted Talisman and Magic Boots, you have the cooldown and mana to keep fighting forever. And with Glowing Wand and Divine Glaive, you have the power to melt anyone standing in your way. This build isn't just about surviving, it's about dominating every stage of the match. You don't rely on your team, you become the team's engine of pressure and control.
Throughout the match, your role evolves. In the early game, play safe but smart. Use your skills to clear waves quickly and harass enemies without overextending. With Magic Boots and Talisman, your mobility and spam potential will keep you one step ahead of most mages. Once you get concentrated energy, your mid-game becomes your playground. You can now dive into small fights and recover with lifesteal. Late game, when you complete Queen's Wings and Divine Glaive, you transform into a mage that can 1v1 almost anyone. Your damage is high, your sustain is reliable, and your safety net is huge. With this build, you'll never feel like a squishy mage.
When it comes to battle spells for Cyclops, it's not just about picking one and sticking with it every match. It's about reading the situation, analyzing the enemy lineup, and adjusting your setup to survive and dominate. Cyclops may look like a pure damage mage, but his success depends heavily on how you position and react in fights. That's why your spell choice can completely change how effective you are in the game. Now, in the first game, I went with Purify, and trust me, that decision made all the difference. The enemy team had Saber, Tigreal, and Cho, three heroes known for one thing: Lockdown and Burst. Saber can delete you with his ultimate, Tigreal can trap you with his Flicker ultimate combo, and Cho can isolate you completely. If you get caught once without a way to escape, you're done. Cyclops is strong, but he's not unkillable, especially early game. So picking Purify wasn't just a choice, it was a smart defensive strategy. Purify gives you that instant escape from crowd control. One press of a button and you cleanse all stuns, knockups, and slows. It doesn't sound flashy, but it saves lives, and in this case, it lets Cyclops do what he does best: deal continuous damage while dodging enemy control. When Saber dives in with his triple skill combo, you don't panic. You just purify at the right moment, reposition, and counter. Same thing when Tigreal tries his Flicker plus ultimate combo. Instead of being caught helplessly, you instantly free yourself, step aside, and punish him for missing his engage. And with Cho, it's even better. Every time he tries to mock you down, Purify resets your mobility, letting you kite him or turn the fight completely around. Now, in the second game, I switched it up. This time, I used Flicker. And the reason is simple. The enemy team didn't have those heavy stuns or burst lock heroes. When there's no Saber, Tigreal, or Chow type crowd control, Purify loses a lot of its value. That's when Flicker shines. Flicker gives Cyclops a mobility edge, allowing him to reposition, chase, or escape from tight spots. Cyclops doesn't have a natural dash or blink, so Flicker fills that gap perfectly. You can use it aggressively to close in for the kill after using your ultimate, or defensively to dodge assassins and long-range SCO shots. The key with Flicker is creativity. You can use it to surprise enemies who think they're safe, blink forward after casting your skills, and finish them off with Planet's Attack. Or you can save it for a clutch escape when the fight turns bad. In the late game, one smart Flicker can decide everything. Since Cyclops' cooldowns are short, repositioning with Flicker means you instantly start another round of damage output. It's all about timing. Use it too early and you waste your escape. Use it too late and you're gone. But once you master the rhythm, Flicker turns Cyclops from a static mage into a fast-moving menace that's hard to pin down.
You know what's crazy? Cyclops is one of those heroes that barely anyone talks about anymore, yet every time someone actually plays him right, they completely take over the game. It's funny how underrated this hero has become, especially in solo rank, where you'd think everyone wants a hero that can carry and survive on their own. Cyclops fits that role perfectly, but because he's not flashy or new, a lot of players sleep on him, and that's their biggest mistake. See, the reason Cyclops works so well in solo rank is because he doesn't need anyone to set him up. He's self-sufficient. He doesn't rely on tanks to peel for him or supports to babysit him. He just needs good positioning, timing, and map awareness. And once you've got those, you can literally handle 1v2 or even 1v3 situations with confidence. His skills are all auto-targeting, meaning he never misses, and his cooldowns are so short that he can keep spamming abilities non-stop. That's a dream come true for solo players because it means your performance depends purely on your own skill, not your teammates.
So yeah, maybe Cyclops isn't the most hyped hero in the patch notes. He's not the shiny new rework or the flashy assassin everyone talks about. But that's exactly why he's perfect for solo rank. While others chase trends, you play smart. You use a hero that's stable, safe, and deadly in the right hands.
And if you made it this far, then you're definitely a real supporter. Drop the word Cyclops in the comments so I know you watched till the end. I seriously appreciate all of you who take the time to watch the full video. It really means a lot. But hey, I noticed many of you watching without subscribing, so don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It helps me out more than you think and keeps the content flowing. Every sub counts, and it keeps me motivated to bring you more of the best and most updated Mobile Legends guides out there.